Good morning. I am Kirsten Sokol, and my pronouns are she and her. I am a member of this congregation and a worship associate at the Unitarian Universalist Area Church at First Parish in Sherburne. Let us begin our time together this morning by taking a deep breath and letting it out. Welcome to this loving community. Come in bringing all of who you are. Bring your wounds and your aching hearts, your pain too numb to feel. There are healing waters here to ease your troubles. Let go of the expectations placed on you by others and those you have placed on yourself. May you touch hands with those you love. May you experience awe, love, and humility here. May you see something of beauty and feel a sense of wonder. May you know that each of us contributes to the beauty of the whole. Bring all that you are and all that you love to this hour together. Welcome.
Thanks for coming to church, friends. I'm Frank Clarkson, your sabbatical minister for these months of March, April, and May. So happy to be here with you all. My pronouns are he, him, and I have just a few really exciting announcements for you this morning. First of all, a huge and happy and warm welcome to our preacher, Reverend Laura Randall. Who, as you know, is our affiliated community minister here, also serves during the week and her days as one of the staff ministers at our Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. Really looking forward to hearing Laura preach. It's a special day here today at UUAC, near and dear to my heart, even as a newcomer. It's Pie Sunday. Coffee hour is always wonderful, but pie, all kinds of pies, so please stay after worship for Pie Sunday. A couple of brief announcements about giving. It's stewardship season. You should have received an envelope in the mail, a packet, or maybe you picked it up here in person. And as somebody who's been around the church for a long time, I just want to say I hope you know that your financial support is what makes possible all the good that happens in this congregation, both within these walls and out in the wider congregation, in the wider community. You may have heard, but if you haven't, there is a matching gift this year, up to $10,000 that will match any pledge increase or any new pledges. Thank you for you can make a pledge online. If you don't want to do the old-fashioned way of filling out the card, go to our website, uuac.org, and you'll see the link at the top of the homepage. Also, related and unrelated, there are two different campaigns. We're running a capital campaign at this time, and it's called the Building Equity Campaign, and it's helping ensure that everyone can have access to the building, can fully participate in church life, improving the building, making it more welcoming and functional. The gifts that you give will support improved accessibility in bathrooms with doors, parking lot grading, and elevator upgrades. We'll also provide clean drinking water throughout the building, and as well as some exterior maintenance. And anyone who pledges to the capital campaign is going to be automatically entered into a raffle starting next Sunday to win a prize over the next 3 weeks. You can also pledge online by visiting the website. It's a different link. You click on Give Now, or you can pick up a pledge card here in the sanctuary as you leave. A couple more things. 2 weeks from last night, March 28 at 6 p.m. is the annual auction, Bid, Bites, and Brews. I'm really looking forward to that. Already got my wife to say she'd come with me. I'm really happy about that. It's There's lots of lovely snacks and drinks, friendly and competitive bidding on great items like an Indian dinner hosted by Reverend Nathan, a week in Vermont, a weekend in New York City, Patriots and Red Sox tickets, food items, artwork, sailing, and much more. Next Sunday is the last chance to bring in and donate physical items. Don't be bringing them in the day before. You know how that is on the auction committee. I just know this from experience. You can buy your tickets today at coffee hour, and I really look forward to seeing you at the auction. Finally, feeling like you want to do more to help our immigrant neighbors, want to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, here's a great opportunity. Join members of the Sanctuary Immigration Team down at the State House this Wednesday from 9 a.m. until noon. You'll be talking to your state reps about 2 upcoming pieces of legislation that will help keep our neighbors safe. For more information, reach out to Marco Kaltofen. Sorry, Marco, if I screwed up your last name. I believe there's going to be a table at coffee hour today as well, so check that out. Now it's time for our Sunday Spotlight. As you know, every week for some months now, we've been highlighting a way to share your love in the world in alignment with our 6 Unitarian Universalist shared values, which are, you can follow along with me if you want, interdependence, equity, transformation, justice, pluralism, and generosity, with love at the center. Thank you. We've been considering these shared values for 6 months now, and the challenge from our team today is this: to reflect on these values, to ask yourself, which values call me to be my best self? And also, which values make me uncomfortable? And then to make these values our own. Because we are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. And if you haven't gotten one yet, pick up at least one of these bookmarks. You could take another one and give it to a friend and tell them about our values and your church. Let's take a minute now and warmly greet those who are nearby.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's so good to see you all. Let's say together our opening words. This morning, they are by Tanya Marquez. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time and the vastness of space, we coincide here. May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering. We are so glad we're here. Let us worship. Let us marvel at the miracle of being here right now and the mystery that has brought us together. Let us rise in body or in spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 108, My Life Flows On, an Endless Song, which is one of my personal favorites.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. I would love to invite Nora Kempner up to light our chalice. Yeah, let's give it up for Nora. Yeah. The flaming chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. That flame of hope and light that we keep inside. Please join me now in saying our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. be seated.
It is now time. Can you hear me? No. It says it's on.
Hello. No.
No. Okay.
Can you hear me now? All right.
Okay, now we're rocking and rolling. Can I have our children, youth, and those young at heart to join me for the Wonder Box, including Susie Wolfskill, who's going to be my helper. Yes, you, the one slowly coming up in the back. Come on. Come on. Lovely. Yes, as many as we have. Okay. All right. Yeah, circle up, get close. Miss Stasia's a little sick, so she's going to keep her mask on. Just a little cold. Can I have a volunteer who wants to open the Wonder Box? Okay, let's see. Miles, I feel like you haven't done it in a long time. Do you want to do the first thing? Okay. Can you hold it up? It's a little bit big. Let's use both hands, maybe, from the bottom. Yeah, what is that?
The earth.
Exactly, it's the earth. And does anyone else know what this might be called? Yes, Lua.
A globe.
Yes, a globe. Okay, and someone else who can do the second item. Yes, what's your name, hon? Evie, come on.
A pencil.
A pencil! Okay, and what could these two things, do we have any ideas what these two things could mean? I don't know. Lua, what do you think?
Couldn't it be like drawing the world?
That's actually a really good segue to our story. Susie, can you help me read this story? Okay, I'm just going to have you hold the pages so I can read it, okay? And we can read it together. This story, this way. I'll cheat out like in theater. This is called Malala's Magic Pencil. Go to the next. Do you believe in magic? When I was younger, I used to watch a TV show about a boy who had a magic pencil. If he was hungry, he drew a bowl of curry and it appeared. If he and his friends were in danger, he drew a police officer. The boy was a little hero, always protecting people who needed help. How I wanted a magic pencil too. What would you make with your magic pencil? Anyone? I would have endless candy. Okay. If I had a magic pencil, Malala says, I would use it to put a lock on my door so my brothers couldn't bother me, to stop time so I could sleep an extra hour every morning, and erase the smell of the trash dump near our house. And I would use it to make other people happy. I would draw the most beautiful dresses in the world for my mother, the best buildings in the valley for my father, so he could open many schools where children would study for free. A proper ball, so my brothers and I no longer had to play with an old sock stuffed with rubbish. Every night before I went to bed, I wished for a magic pencil of my own. Anybody else wish for things at night? I do, every night. And every morning I would wake up and check my cupboard, but the magic pencil was never there, Malala said. One day I was throwing away potato peels and eggshells at the dump. I was wrinkling my nose, swatting away flies, and making sure I didn't step on anything dirty in my nice shoes, when I saw a girl about my age sorting trash into piles. Nearby, boys were fishing for metal scraps using magnets on strings. When my father returned home from work, I told him what I'd seen. It made him sad. Abba, I said. Yes, Johnny, he said back. I always liked when he called me dear one. Why haven't I seen that girl in my class? Because, he said, but he didn't finish right away. Because, Johnny, in our country, not everyone sends their daughters to school, and some children must work to support their family. Those boys will sell the metal scraps they find. If they went to school, their families would go hungry. School was my favorite place. Anybody else like school? Yes, school's so fun. But I had never considered myself lucky to be able to go. My father had always said, Malala will live free as a bird. Now I wondered how free I'd truly be. That night I thought about families who didn't have enough food, and the girl who couldn't go to school, and even about how when I was older, I would be expected to cook and clean for my brothers, because where I came from, many girls weren't allowed to become what they dreamed of. I knew then that if I had the magic pencil, I would use it to draw a better world, a peaceful world, right? Lua was talking about drawing the world. She knew exactly what was going on. First, I would erase war, poverty, and hunger. Then I would draw girls and boys together as equals. Over the next few years, instead of wishing every night for a magic pencil, I worked hard in school every day. But soon, powerful and dangerous men declared that girls were forbidden from attending school. They walked the streets of our city and they carried weapons. One by one, girls stopped going to school. Abba, where are all the students? They don't feel safe anymore, Johnny. How could a few men stop all the girls in our valley from going to school? If more people knew what was happening to us, I thought, they might help. Wishing wasn't enough. Someone needed to speak out. So why not me, Malala thought. I wrote about what it felt like to be scared to walk to school and how some of my friends had moved away. I wrote about how much I loved school and how proud I was of my uniform. Once I started writing, I didn't stop. I wrote speeches, I traveled around the country sharing my story. I talked to reporters, people who actually wanted to learn about my life. I spoke on behalf of all the girls in my valley. My voice became so powerful that the dangerous men tried to silence me, but they failed. And now my voice is louder than ever, louder because people have joined me, and together we make a chorus, standing up for what we believe. We raise our voices for those in need, just like us, help people in danger, even if they are an ocean away, and think of the world as a family. Do you still believe in magic? Yes, I do. I wrote alone in my room, but people all over the world were reading my story. Millions know and help spread my message of hope. I had at last found the magic I was looking for, in my words and in my work. I am Malala. I always wish I could make the world a more peaceful place, and every day I work to make my wish come true. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pencil can change the world. So Malala had some dreams, right, about changing the world with her magic pencil. But then she realized she didn't really need just the magic pencil, the magic item, right? She just needed to believe in herself. Is there anything you guys feel like you would change with the magic that's in you? No, that's okay. Susie might have an idea. Susie, what would you change?
If I could change anything in the world?
Yes, with your magic. The magic of work.
I think I would probably erase unfairness for people running away from hard times in their country.
That's beautiful. Okay, kiddos, that was beautiful. Thanks for imagining a better world with us and listening to Malala's story. And now we're going to sing out and go to class.
Go ahead and plant your feet on the ground. Now's the time for drawing closer to ourselves. Our prayer hymn for this month is What We Need Is Here. The lyrics will be on the screen. We come into this space every Sunday carrying so much of life with us. Here on this Ides of March, what do you have with you today? We have prayers for loved ones, those on our hearts, friends, family, neighbors. We have this one from John and Susan Weaver. For John's sister, Nancy, in the hospital with heart/BP issues. If there is someone on your heart this morning, I invite you to speak their name into this space now. Muriel. We light a candle for all those names spoken and unspoken. And let us take a moment to look out of our windows of this beautiful sanctuary. And remember that we enter into this space not to be insulated from all that is out there, but to remind ourselves that we are intimately a part of it. A part of the changing of the seasons as the seasons change within our own lives as well. We have this prayer for the world, for food and security during the holiday season. We light a candle for the world. And there are things to be thankful for as well. We can feel it in the warming weather. We can feel it in the new buds, see it in the new buds coming up. A prayer of thanksgiving for me that the very first bird migrants are starting to come through, and I can't wait to get out there with my binoculars. If there is something that is bringing you joy this morning, something that you are thankful for, I invite you to share it out loud now. No snow. No snow. We light a prayer of thanksgiving. Now, please join me in a time of prayer. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, God of mystery and names and no names, be here among us now. Help us to feel you as we know that you are there next to us, just as our neighbors are. Help us to remember that we are not only part of this world, but part of a community, that we are stronger in the love we have for each other, in that love that is at the center of it all. Though the world can seem dark on the news, help us to remember that the light is coming and can come. That like our flaming chalice every week, that light is a reminder that our light within shall not be extinguished, but that we are the fuel for each other to help it burn ever brighter. Help us to remember that times can be dark, that pain can be real, that change will come. Let us face it arm in arm. Let us face it with you, O Spirit. Let us cross through it into the season of the new. Amen. Now for a time of silence and musical meditation.
Today's reading is from Robin Wall Kemmer's The Serviceberry, Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World. In it, she shares a story of a linguist, Daniel Everett, who was learning from a hunter-gatherer community in Brazil. She writes, "He observes that a hunter had brought home a sizable kill, far too much to be eaten by his family. The researcher asked him how he would store the excess. Smoking and drying technologies were well known. Storing was possible. The hunter was puzzled by the question. Store the meat? Why would he do that? Instead, he sent out an invitation to a feast. And soon the neighboring families were gathered around his fire until every last morsel was consumed. This seemed like maladaptive behavior to the anthropologist, who asked again, given the uncertainty of meat in the forest, why didn't the hunter store the meat for himself? Which is what the economic system of his home culture would predict. Store my meat? I store my meat in the belly of my brother, replied the hunter. I feel a great debt to this unnamed teacher for these words. There beats the heart of gift economies, an antecedent alternative to market economies, another way of organizing ourselves to sustain life. In a gift economy, wealth is understood as having enough to share, and the practice for dealing with abundance is to give it away. In fact, status is determined not by how much one accumulates, but by how much one gives away. The currency in a gift economy is relationship, which is expressed as gratitude, as interdependence, and the ongoing cycles of reciprocity. A gift economy nurtures the community bones that enhance well-being, and the economic unit is we rather than I, as all flourishing is mutual.
Well, you better listen, my sisters and brothers, 'cause if you do, you can hear there are voices still calling across the years. And they're all crying across the ocean. They're all crying across the land. And they will till we all come to understand. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. And there are people still in darkness, and they just can't see the light. If you don't say it's wrong, that says it's right. We got to feel for each other. Let our brothers know that we care. Got to get the message, send it out loud and clear. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. Now I swear your salvation isn't too hard to find. None of us can find it on our own. On our own. We've got to join together in spirit, heart, and mind, so every soul who's suffering will know they're not alone. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. If you just look around you, you're gonna see what I say. 'Cause the world is getting smaller each passing day. Passing day. It's time to start making changes. Time for us all to realize the truth is shining bright right before our eyes. Before our eyes, none of us are free. None of us are free now. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. None of us, none of us. None of us are free. Still kidnapped from the home. Still hunted in the street. One of us is chained. None of us are free. 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 One of us is chained. None of us are free.
Church this morning. Oh, UAC family, it is so good to be with you today. It's always a joy to return to this congregation that welcomed me as a little baby student minister 18 years ago. I know, that was sobering. And ordained me into ministry 4 years after that. And since then, I've been working as a community minister in institutions seeking to nurture spirits and advance justice, and I take the lessons that I learned right here everywhere I go. This congregation comes with me everywhere. Since 2019, I've been working at the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, or UUSC. UUSC is an international human rights organization grounded in Unitarian Universalism that has been a powerful force for justice since its founding in 1940 in response to the rise of Nazism. If you would like your own UUSC Defying Nazis Since 1940 pin, they'll be in the fellowship hall after the service. UUSC's work is based on a partnership model that centers the experience and leadership of people who are most impacted by injustice. And this partnership includes support of some of the scrappiest, most creative, and courageous groups of people that you can imagine who are often working for justice in very dangerous conditions. We work with over 70 grassroots partners in 25 countries, including the United States. Our partners work in the areas of migrant justice, climate justice, democracy and civil liberties, and humanitarian crisis response. Because we work with local grassroots organizations, our partners are often addressing many of these issues at once as the effects of climate change spur humanitarian crisis, which impacts migration, which in turn often has repercussions on civil liberties. Everything is connected. And because UUSC endeavors to accompany our partners for the long term, we often work with them as the needs of their communities shift. For instance, we've been working with persecuted ethnic minorities in Burma or Myanmar for nearly 30 years. And this meant that UUSC was one of the few international organizations that was able to get resources into the country following the military coup in 2021 and after they experienced a devastating earthquake 1 year ago in March. Relationship is at the center of everything we do at UUSC. In the 7 years that I've been working there, I've had the privilege of meeting many of these partners and hearing their stories of devastation and resilience and imagination and hope. Our global partners show us again and again that the oppressive systems that operate in the world are not inevitable. Other ways of being, ones that center community care, accountability, and global solidarity are possible. And they come about when enough people choose to act from a place of love rather than fear. When small acts of courage, imagination, and gratitude build upon each other. I've been thinking a lot about the words that Adam shared from Robin Wall Kimmerer's The Serviceberry. In the book, Kimmerer uses the example of the serviceberry bush to explore the abundance inherent in the gift economies that proliferate in the natural world. The serviceberry offers its fruit lavishly to humans, to deer, to birds, to insects, to the earth itself, because doing so ensures the health of the ecosystem in which it lives. The plant can only thrive and propagate through sharing its own abundance with the world around it. All flourishing is mutual. I've been thinking about these words now, in this particular season of immense cruelty and manufactured scarcity. We are witnessing our neighbors abducted from their homes, from our courtrooms, and off of our streets. Our community's children, elders, and so many others are being deprived of food and medical care. Those with little to begin with are being forced to survive with even less so that the wealthiest can be allowed to hoard still more. It's maddening, isn't it? To witness such destruction and malice, all while knowing it doesn't have to be this way, while believing that survival is not a zero-sum game, while rejecting a worldview that says that everything and everyone is ultimately a commodity to be sold and used and exploited and discarded in service of profit and the power that profit brings. A model that ranks all of creation as mine or not mine, or perhaps not mine yet. For those of us with deep wells of empathy and strong ethical convictions, it is literally painful to witness the harms being inflicted all around us. We can use this pain as an excuse to look away, or, as many of us are doing, we can use it as an incitement to action. When we view our world, our fellow humans, our very existence as the gifts they are, as opposed to resources we might control or discard according to our whims, gratitude becomes the center of our lives. If everything is a gift, then the natural response is gratitude. Kimmerer calls this a gift economy. In a gift economy, she writes, the currency in circulation is gratitude and connection rather than goods and money. A gift economy includes a system of social and moral agreements for indirect reciprocity rather than direct exchange. So the hunter who shared a feast with you today could well anticipate that you would share from a full fish net or offer your labor to repair a roof in the future. The prosperity of the community grows from the flow of relationships, not the accumulation of goods. When the natural world is understood as a gift instead of private property, there are ethical constraints on the accumulation of abundance that is not yours to own. Gifts are not meant to be hoarded and thus made scarce for others, but to be given away, which generates sufficiency for all. In a gift economy, wealth is understood as having enough to share, and the practice for dealing with abundance is to give it away. Our UUSC partners model this gift economy in so many ways. My colleague at UUSC, Myra Dagapa, recently visited some of our partners in Ukraine. I want to share with you Myra's reflection from her journey because it speaks to the way UUSC prioritizes relationships in systemic change and the ways our partners continually inspire transformation and hope in ways that ripple out and intersect. Myra said, "My most challenging day came when I encountered Ukraine's largely invisible Roma community. 14,000 people facing systemic discrimination that predates the war. Here, families live next to garbage dumps, while children with brilliant minds are denied education and skilled workers are barred from employment, all because of their ethnicity. Yet even in the face of such injustice, I found remarkable innovation. Young Roma women started a beauty business, traveling to clients when they weren't welcomed in traditional salons. Women gathered around sewing machines, creating not just clothing, but economic independence." Myra goes on, "What gives me hope now is how achievable meaningful change really is. For less than $12,000, we could establish a sewing enterprise transforming dozens of women's economic prospects. For the cost of a single conference, we could create an educational center serving 25 Roma children currently denied schooling. These aren't just donations. They're investments in systemically suppressed human potential. And the return isn't just economic. It's reclamation of dignity and creation of opportunity pathways that were never supposed to exist. UUSC's seed grants are strategic investments designed to make these transformative impacts. A return from Ukraine connected to profound possibility, not naive optimism, but hard-won knowledge that committed people can create islands of hope which eventually become continents of change. Ukrainian civil society demonstrates that ordinary people can create extraordinary change when they refuse to believe that suffering is inevitable. They're not waiting for permission or perfect conditions. They're creating the change they want to see, one person, one project, one act of courage at a time. We often feel overwhelmed by the scale of global problems, but Ukraine taught me differently, Myra says. Transformation happens through small acts of courage sustained over time by people who refuse to accept that the way things are is the way they must be. And that, more than any headline, is what hope looks like in practice. UUSC's Director of Advocacy, Salote Soko, recently attended the Pacific Rising convening in Fiji, the third such gathering of community-based organizations from the Pacific. This convening is made possible by UUSC and the Climate Justice Resilience Fund. The agenda focused on using culturally appropriate decolonial processes that integrate inclusive storytelling to share learnings of gender and intersectionality, experiences and challenges around grant distribution, in determining next steps to leverage regional visibility and global advocacy. Salote left the Pacific Rising convening to go directly to New York City to attend the UN's General Assembly and the Climate Week events that were taking place there. Reflecting on the shift in atmosphere between the two events, she wrote, "Our Pacific partners' diligent hope fuels their innovative solutions. Hope supports their efforts to transform systems. In contrast, members of the UN and participants in New York Climate Week broadly exhibit a panicked hopelessness that drastically restricts their ability to understand and enact meaningful solutions. Global grassroots leaders were notably missing from the New York events, limiting the relevance, effectiveness, and creativity of the proceedings. The people most impacted by the climate crisis aren't afforded the luxury of hopelessness. They must continue to cultivate the belief that through collective action, a different future is possible. Grassroots leaders know that the future depends on our collaboration, our faith, and our creativity. Again, our partners are showing us what hope looks like in practice. One of UUSC's long-standing partners in El Salvador is Cristocel. Cristocel has a long history of defending victims of government abuse through legal advocacy and strategic litigation, as well as documenting abuses through forensic research and the preserving of the historical memory. In May of 2025, Cristocel's chief legal officer for anti-corruption, Ruth Lopez, was abducted by government forces in her home and disappeared. She is now a political prisoner without any contact with her family or colleagues. Honestly, we don't know the status of her safety. Following Ruth's arrest, the rest of the Cristocel staff were forced to flee their offices in San Salvador and move across the border into Guatemala. Noah Bullock, the executive director of Cristocel, told us that even with this level of repression, there is resistance. There's no guarantee that tomorrow everything will change, but the actions we take today contribute to a longer process, even if we don't see the outcomes in our lifetime. Even if we never enjoy the results of our advocacy, we have a historic responsibility to push forward. Here in the United States, we are witnessing what hope looks like in practice as our siblings in Minnesota continue to resist the violent federal occupation of their cities. When the call came from interfaith partnerships in Minneapolis at the end of January for clergy to come and bear witness to what was happening there, UUSC was able to respond within hours to supply grants to faith leaders, enabling them to answer this call. UUSC funded 68 Unitarian Universalist ministers to participate in this action, where they joined more than 700 other faith leaders. And UUSC was able to meet this need without hesitation because of our foundations in deep relationship with grassroots leaders and because of the steadfast generosity of UUSC supporters. Our siblings in Minnesota and now in Vermont are showing us what it means to show up for our neighbors, to find your lane and get to work, to organize creatively and relentlessly. There is a role for everyone in the resistance, a role for everyone in shaping this new world that values people over profit. It knows that communities are strong because of their diversity, not in spite of it. They are showing us again and again that flourishing is mutual, that we survive together or not at all. Our Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, our global partners, this congregation, every mutual aid and global solidarity effort, each food pantry and voting drive and costumed ICE facility protest, community school escorts and pro-democracy rallies, All of these actions are what hope looks like in practice. These are actions we take not because we are guaranteed that tomorrow everything will change, but because we have a responsibility to push forward. Our justice-loving ancestors are showing us the way. Our global partners in the movement for human rights and climate justice are showing us the way. Our Unitarian Universalist values are showing us the way. Together, we will mourn and resist, disrupt and heal. We will weep and sing and dance and imagine. We will store our wealth in the bellies of our siblings, sharing abundantly so that all may live. Planting seeds of justice wherever we are. Together, we will persevere. I want to lift you up, UUAC, for the vital role that you play in this larger story of global solidarity, resistance to oppression, and modeling what hope looks like in practice. This congregation is deeply committed, both locally and beyond, to the work of caring for our neighbors, be they down the street or across the globe. UUSC is a member-supported, independent organization. We receive no funding from the UUA. We rely on the generosity of people of faith and conscience like you. Currently, 7% of this congregation are members of UUSC, and we are so incredibly grateful for these members. Thank you. And I bet we could get that number higher than 77%. What do you think? A gift of any amount to UUSC makes you a member. And if you put a gift in today's collection, that can make you a member. Just talk to me after the service and we'll make that little tally up. If you are interested, see me after the service. Our members receive periodic updates on the important work our partners are doing around the world with your support, as well as invitations to take action on behalf of migrant justice, climate justice, civil liberty defense, and crisis response. Transformation happens through small acts of courage sustained over time by people who refuse to accept that the way things are is the way they must be. Your support of UUSC is one of these acts, sustained over time, embodying gratitude and practicing hope. Together, along with our grassroots partners and justice seekers the world over, we are nurturing a new world into being. Thank you. Thank you so much, and I am so grateful that we are in this work together. Blessed be, and amen. So every week we collect an offering and give it away to support an organization that lives out our values of love, service, justice, and peace. UUAC is able to give 100% of your offering away because of your pledges to the church, which keep us going and thriving. And this week, the offering will be for the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. I'm so grateful. So please give generously, friends.
Let's rise in body or spirit. Join our voices, the fire of commitment, in the Teal hymnal 1028 are on your screen. Let's say together the words of our call to ministry. We go forth into the world in peace, to act with works of love, to affirm each person's dignity, and to cherish the living earth. Following the benediction, please come join our preacher and meet her and say hello outside right over here. And then join us for coffee hour and pie downstairs through the elevator or down the steps.
These words are by John Daniel. Among other wonders of our lives, we are alive with one another. We live here in the light of this unlikely world that isn't ours for long. May we spend generously the time we are given. May we enact our responsibilities as thoroughly as we enjoy our pleasures. May we see with clarity. May we seek a vision that serves all beings. May we honor the mystery surpassing our sight, and may we hold in our hands the gift of good work and bear it forth whole. As we are borne forth by a power we praise to this one earth, this homeland of all we love. Go in peace, blessed be. Let's eat some pie.